Let's talk a little bit about article optimization. Now, when you're writing your articles, you need to make sure that each article is centered around a keyword or key phrase. Okay, so in this article, I'm concentrating on the fast, or actually not the, I'm concentrating on fast track cache system. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is make sure that my keyword or key phrase appears in the title. It's very important that you do that because it appears in the title tags. The search engines look at those very carefully. Now, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you optimize the article content to contain the same keywords. So you should make sure that you have the key phrase sprinkled throughout the article. Now, you don't want to do it every other sentence or anything like that. It's going to look really spammy and the article isn't going to make much sense. It's going to be hard to read. The search engines aren't going to pick it up because you have too many keywords in there. So what you're really aiming for here is somewhere between 3 and 7% keyword density. In other words, if your article is 100 words long, then you would be looking at 3 to 7 instances of your key phrase in there. Now, the keyword density is not as important as having your article make sense when it's read back. Google's getting a lot smarter, so you need to make sure that your article makes sense. Make keyword density your second concern when optimizing your article. Now let's look at a way that we can spin our articles to make a second article or third or however many articles you want to create from an article that you've had written for you or that you've already written yourself. Now, it's important to remember that these articles have already been keyword optimized for a certain phrase. Okay, so this one was fast track cache system. And that is what this article has been optimized to rank for. Okay, so we need to make sure that we don't change that when we are repurposing this content. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to change the title. Just by changing the title, we can have the beginnings of a different article, but we need to make sure that we keep our main phrase within the title content. Okay, so let's rewrite that first. I have a simple money machine, the fast track cache system, so I kept my main keyword intact. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is go and rewrite the content in the article. Now, we don't have to rewrite all of it, of course. That wouldn't really make much sense. But what we want to do is rewrite some of it so that it appears to be a different article. Now, an easy way to do this is to just go through each paragraph and make some changes in each paragraph, maybe 2 or 3 sentences. And the easiest way to do that is to pick a sentence. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this first sentence in the first paragraph and I'm going to rewrite it. So if you want to earn fast cash, you have to be diligent enough to find a system that actually works. So all I do is rewrite the first sentence. Now I have the essential component to earn fast cash is to make sure you find a system that actually works. So I got the same idea across, but I changed the first sentence entirely. Okay, so then you can just go through each paragraph and do that 2 or 3 times and you end up with a unique article. Now make sure you don't just go and save this. Otherwise it's going to overwrite your first article. Now this article was actually named Article 1 when it was applied to me, but what you should do is change the name of it to the main keyword that you're using. Okay, so in this case it is fast track cache system. Okay, so what I want to do is first of all I should save this article as fast track cache system. So file, save as, and then we'll just call this fast track cache system. And then this is the second article, so the one we rewrote. So we have fast track cache system 2, and we'll save that. Okay, so now we have a unique article that was created from our content that we had written or that we wrote ourselves. and it can now be submitted to all the same places that we submit our other article. Now you might want to rename your original article to go along with this, so our first article could just be called Fast Track Cache System without the 2 on the end. Okay, so when we go and spin the third and fourth and fifth articles, all we have to do is where it says 2 here, put 3, 4, 5, etc. And you have multiple articles created from the one article you had written or that you wrote yourself.